Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, man. It's not even 3:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, there are so many stories I want to talk about this morning. I've settled on two of them. The Whitehouse, and I want to talk again a little bit about Leandro DeNiro Rodriguez. His family put out a tweet confirming some of the stuff that I talked about in the other video. Before I get into that, I have to be careful what I say for the first 30 seconds of a video too. There's a slew of other stories. I'm going to give you guys just I'm going to run through them really quick right now, and I'm going to leave the links down below. I'll probably do videos concerning what I'm going to talk about, these other topics. I'm going to probably do videos later today because there's so many stories I want to talk about. All right, first one, there's a video that's a YouTube video online that just got posted. There's a story about a airline stewardess denying access to a couple that she believes to be intoxicated. The woman admits to having a glass of wine and doing backflips before she got on the plane, apparently. And the crew saw this, and there is a stewardess standing blocking in the air tunnel, it's called, or the airwalk. And she's blocking the actual entrance to the plane, saying you cannot board this plane. And I agree with her, but her demeanor is a little Karen-ish. I agree that these people shouldn't be let on the plane if they're intoxicated, but if you see the video, I'll put the link down below. The stewardess comes across as really a Karen, even though I agree with what she's saying. Okay, now here's another interesting story. Women, mothers, Keke Palmer, and Ice-T's wife both posted pictures over the 4th of July weekend, and they were both taken to task for their apparel. In Keke Palmer's case, she was called by her boyfriend. Her boyfriend criticized her for wearing a sleek dress on stage with Usher, saying, "You're a mom, you shouldn't be wearing this, and you should have morals like me." And I think that's just a load of crap. Women, mother or not, should be able to deserve to dress however they want. Now, Coco, Ice-T's wife, takes it a little far. I don't know if I could even post this picture. She's wearing something called a micro bikini bottom, and there's parts hanging out. And in this case, Ice-T is defending Coco, which I think is fantastic too. I think God bless him. He sticks up for Coco because a lot of people, and she's wearing a 4th of July shirt with 2 American flags and the micro bikini bottom. And God bless her too. The only problem I have with this is how come women can do this and men can't? Because I've had problems before wearing bottoms that are a little too tight, that show a little too much. And I was actually, and I didn't even intend to do this, and I got in trouble on Facebook. I was suspended, I think, for 24 hours. And I didn't even intend to do this because it showed the outline of my man parts. I used one of these pictures for a video, the Big D video a little while back. I was kind of nervous if YouTube was going to say anything about that. Okay, what else? Oh, okay. So there's the stewardess, the dressing. This one really gets me angry. I haven't even determined what I'm going to talk about. Marjorie Taylor Greene has posted just something over the top, dangerously offensive. You know, there's been all these incidents. I think like 24 deaths over the 4th of July weekend with mass incidents. I have to be careful what I say. You know, like in Philadelphia, Baltimore, Boston, Chicago, and the one in Philadelphia. Marjorie Taylor Greene is putting out this false information, and other right-wing people are parroting her, saying it too, that the shooter was a trans person, which is a load of bull. It's completely false. This just makes me so angry because it's dangerously and falsely painting the LGBTQ community, and I get so angry talking about that. I'm gonna have to calm down before I do a video about that. Okay, now this is what I'm going to talk about today. The Whitehouse. I don't know if any of you have heard this. There's a certain substance that was found in the Whitehouse. Cocaine was found in the Whitehouse, in the West Wing. And I don't know how prevalent this story is online. I've been seeing this story for a couple of days now, and I want to talk about it a little bit. And I want to talk a little bit more about the Leandro DeNiro Rodriguez story. And they're both a little connected. All right, with the Whitehouse, the link will be down below. Apparently, the cocaine was found in a cubby. The West Wing contains the family's residence, the first family's residence, and the work area, like you saw in the movie, the show, The West Wing. And this was not in the residence, the private residence. This was in the West Wing, the work area, where hundreds of people go through every day. People that work there, and tours and visitors. And tours and visitors, people that don't work there, and people that aren't family, are required to put their personal possessions, their electronics, inside a cubbyhole, locked cubby. This is where the cocaine was found. So, being a former user, I think I could see, I can guess what happened here. Somebody went in for a tour with family or whatever, didn't, you know, and you get so used to, unfortunately, when you're abusing substances like this, you get so used to carrying it with you, a lot of times you forget you have it on you until you're in a place like this. And I could see the person panicking and putting it in there and then leaving it in there, being nervous that they might be searched or dogs might smell it on the way out, because that's things I used to worry about. And so they're still looking at the cameras and everything to determine who left it in this locked cubby that visitors use. So no, it wasn't Hunter Biden. And no, yeah, I brought up the name Don Jr. in my community page, but no, I don't think it was Don Jr. either. It more than likely was a visitor, from what I can gather. Okay, let's move on to Leandro DeNiro Rodriguez. I did a video just a day or two back, and I talked about a particular disgusting website, Radar Online. They called him a druggie, and that he was in a drug den, and they speculated, they said that they thought, because there was a plate found with a white substance, and being the idiots that Radar Online appeared to be, they surmised that white powder must be cocaine. And even in the video I did a day or two ago, I said, I don't think that's what it was. I've had friends OD from cocaine, but I don't think that's what this was, because of the prevalence of fentanyl in the country today. And the family, the DeNiro family, I think it's a tweet they put out, and it kind of an angry tweet, justifiably, where they talk about Leandro apparently purchased pills. I'm not sure, this is what I'm not sure about, they were pills, because there's this thing called, see, this fentanyl came about after I got clean and sober, so I don't know a whole lot about this. And because there's this rainbow fentanyl that's pressed pills, like they make in a pill press. And then sometimes I've heard or read and seen that fentanyl, it could be sold in capsules, where they put it in a capsule and close it, and that's how they sell it. So I don't know which this was. And you know, Leandro, obviously, you know, I don't know what he thought he was buying. It's possible he thought he could have been buying ecstasy. Maybe he thought he could have been buying prescription Percocet or OxyContin. I don't know exactly what these pills look like. It sounds to me like they were capsules. So no, this was not cocaine, just because it's a white powder. You know, being an addict, I could picture what was happened here. He got home, he opened these up, put them on the plate. And if that's the case, I'm really thinking that this was fentanyl, and he knew it was fentanyl. That's why he opened it up and snorted it. It was probably going to snort it. If it was this rainbow fentanyl, supposedly sold by the cartels to influence kids, which I'm not buying. I think it's made to sell to ravers and to look like ecstasy. It wouldn't involve opening up the pills. Like, it wouldn't be in capsules. So, you know, not being there and not seeing any pictures, I can only speculate. But I'm guessing, you know, my gut feeling is that he probably knew he was buying opioids, because he opened it up and apparently opened it up and put it on the plate, and it was not cocaine. Okay, so with these two stories, I've had people ask me this recently, and people that aren't involved in narcotics, in substance abuse or substance abuse counseling, don't really know the difference. There's cocaine and there's crack, okay? And I'm just going to talk briefly about the difference between the two. Both are cocaine, okay? The cocaine powder is what usually comes into the country. It's a salt, cocaine hydrochloride salt. And that can be turned into, it can be purified into almost all the mix, and all the other stuff can be taken out of it, so that it's a when you smoke it, it could be vaporized. That's the word I was looking for. A vaporized form of pure cocaine. That's crack, and that is a base So you're kind of changing the chemical makeup. I'm not a chemist or anything here, but and that is done one of two ways. And I'm not going to be too specific here, because you have to know specifically how to do this. It's something that I used to do frequently, unfortunately. But unless I tell you specifically the time and the amount and all that, there's no way. You know, because even people that know how to do it used to mess it up constantly and lose it. You take the cocaine and you mix it with baking soda and put it in and then mix in water and heat it and then cool it, and it'll separate. The other mixes, the other cuts will come out of it, and a rock will form, a solid rock. Crack looks, a lot of crack looks, some of it could be white, but some of it could be yellow or even brownish. It depends if they use water. Back in my day, they used to use, what was it called? Cleaning fluid, which was dangerous. Ammonia. Crack usually looks like a little bit like Swiss cheese because the air pockets in it, if you look, it'll have little tiny holes. It's rock hard, and it'll have usually has little holes, air pockets in it. Cocaine can be in solid form when it comes into the country, when it's broken off a kilo. It's solid, but it's not as hard as crack cocaine. So to sum it up, for the people that don't know, I'm telling people this because people, friends and family that find this stuff in bedrooms, you know, there's people they suspect are using, and they come across it. You have to know what you're finding here, because there is a difference. To me, the crack is it's a quicker, harder high, and to me it's a more dangerous. My friends have OD'd from crack, and it's more addictive. The high is much quicker and faster, and you come down quicker, and you want more. The intensity of the craving is far more, in my opinion, than cocaine. So again, cocaine is usually a powder or a soft block. Crack would be a very hard, breakable substance with holes in it. Crack is cocaine. Cocaine can be turned into crack, but crack cannot be turned back into cocaine. Once the chemical process is done and cocaine is turned into the crack, you can't turn it back into, you can't snort it. I hope that helps. And like I said, I say this for people that find this. My mom, the reason I say this too is my family, my mom had no idea. She just, you know, she was from the 50s and 60s, and she just knew drinking, you know, alcohol and drugs. Drugs were drugs. And there's a big difference, you know, when you're seeing somebody that's intoxicated, your family member, if they're about to OD, if there's signs of ODing, or if you find something in their room, you should know exactly what you're dealing with, so you could determine the signs of when this person's using, the dangers and whatnot. The more information is better. Education is better to know what you're dealing with if you're going to help a family member or friend that's dealing with substance abuse. And that's why I'm telling you, recovery is possible. The links will be all down below. I definitely will be back with more videos today. So much to talk about, especially Marjorie Taylor Greene in this trans shooter bowl. Have a good Thursday.